this communication that really like excelled the hookups, if that makes any sense. I mean, it seemed like every hookup was done 1,000 times before that, and it showed. You know, those guys were really very, very good at that. But fighting Marlin, you know, it's so hard to film that. Mac and I have never done anything like that, you know, and this whole show is filmed and edited just by him and I. So it's very tough to get that element locked in, especially when you've never filmed it before. But I felt like we did well. You know, there was a lot of cool moments that we got to capture. You know, my favorite was actually the one moment where we're fighting this fish. It's probably the biggest one of the trip. You know, you're in 15-foot swells, it's dark and stormy, water's crashing over you. The adrenaline is in the air. I mean, you feel it coursing through you. You know, you're stoked to finally be chasing something like this that's not really obtainable to the regular guy like me. You know, you gotta have deep pockets to do this type of fishing, I feel like. It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I mean, we took a private jet international, fished on a 90-foot sport fish. That's ruined me, because now every sport fish I go on after that, I'm gonna be like, this isn't big. It had a gym. I mean, full kitchen, living room. This guy Mike is he's built such an amazing operation. And good for him. I mean, good for him. I mean, the dude deserves it. I mean, he would literally be like negotiating business deals in between fishing. Like, it was those moments of him coming out and dancing, water coming over the bow, nailing me, you know. I can constantly relive it in my head. That's one of those moments that I don't think I'm gonna forget, that fish just coming, jumping out, and then jumping at me. And you know, I felt like that was my true Marlin moment. You know, that is a moment I will never forget. You know, you've got pangas coming up trying to take your fish, the locals. They've worked out a way that they don't take their fish, they give them bags of stuff, and it's just been, you know, really cool. Like, I never would have thought, you know, the locals were gonna be out there 30 miles offshore in a panga with like a 45 horsepower, I don't even know what type of motor it was. And they're just out there catching fish, like, and they're trying to work on these fads, which is these ropes that are 3,000 feet down with palm fronds hanging off them. It collects bait, and then the marlin hang around it. And these Dominicans, these locals, actually maintain the fads. Well, the crew of the Betsy has actually made a deal with the locals. Instead of them catching their fish, because they're all about catch and release, they're actually giving them supplies, they're giving them food. I mean, I even saw Mike give some of them money just to help the locals.
I mean, Mike's worked his ass off for years, and he told me, you know, when he was doing all this, starting as a kid, he wanted to fish. And then he found the fishery he loved, and his first fish was a kingfish, and he just started falling in love with the pelagics, and he's built his company, he's done amazing deals, and now he gets to fly in, he's got an amazing crew. I mean, it's most definitely life goals, I would say.
Left block! Left block!
We're on, let's go.
It's like a shotgun goes off. I mean, that fish comes on the teaser, they're all yelling, they're bringing the teaser in, pitching a bait to it, and how it all processes from start to finish is awesome. I've never hooked marlin. I've hooked sailfish, but I feel like a marlin dances so much more. And to see how these fish would just tail walk. And the last fish, I got to fight. And Marlin, let me tell you, it was epic. It was epic. This fish is dancing everywhere, it's big. And at one point towards the fight, there was a moment like totally frozen in time. This fish just came bursting through. I mean, bursting through a wave, came steamrolling at the boat. And my reaction was just to sprint at the fish and speed roll all the line up. And you can literally see on slow-mo when I speed up and hook up, catch the line perfect right before the boat. Got him here, runs the whole way, comes back through, does another epic jump. That was my true Marlin moment. That is a moment I'll never forget, that I had that Marlin in Dominican Republic. We went toe to toe. And 15 feet swells. It was just one of those moments. Like, I've always wanted to chase this fish, and I finally got my moment, and it lived up to the hype. It most definitely lived up to the hype. I really want to thank the guys at Deckit. You did a phenomenal job with this trip, putting it on for Mac and I. I'm really excited to get this over with. Season 2 was difficult. COVID, stressed us out to a new level. Everything was being held to a standstill. Mac and I were frozen. We didn't know what to do. So we just kept focusing on the projects at hand and getting through them, and getting through them successfully. Because it's not easy planning fishing trips and filming, let alone during a pandemic. Season 2, we most definitely, things got complicated, and Mac, come sit down. Come sit here, buddy. Let's talk about it. So Mac and I literally do everything. Season 2 was just him and I. He had to be 2 people, I had to be 3 people, and we got it done. And I'm really proud of our work. It was a challenge this year, a creative challenge.
It really was.
I think we had to think outside the box. I think we were creative, extremely creative.
I really feel like throughout the pandemic, through everything that we had to go through in that time, we were able to develop different skill sets, and we were able to learn things that we haven't had a chance to experience in the past. It just made the workflow go that much easier for us.
And I felt this year we got to learn a lot more. Every adventure that we were on, I came out with learning things and
Every time.
experiencing a lot of cool things. I mean, this year we thought outside the box and got to do a lot of cool things, and we really just want to thank you guys, for helping us over the years. This is season 2. We've got 3 more coming out. So we really just want to say thank you guys. I mean, without you guys watching us, we would have never had the success that we've had. So thank you again for tuning in to Goliath Fishing, guys. See you soon.